Untitled Section 5. The Way of the Ruler. The way is the beginning of all beings and the measure of right and wrong. Therefore, the enlightened ruler holds fast to the beginning in order to understand the well-being of all beings, and minds the measure in order to know the source of good and bad. He waits empty and still, letting names define themselves and affairs reach their own settlement. Being still, he can correct the mover. Those whose duty it is to speak will come forward to name themselves. Those whose duty it is to act will produce result. When names and result match, the ruler need do nothing more, and the true aspect of all things will be revealed. Hence it is said, the ruler must not reveal his desires, for if he reveals his desires, his ministers will put on the mask that pleases him. He must not reveal his will, for if he does so, he is omitting the first rule. Ministers will show a different face. So it is said, discard likes and dislikes, and the ministers will show their true form. Discard wisdom and wile, and the ministers will watch their steps. Hence, though the ruler is wise, he hatches no schemes from his wisdom, but causes all men to know their place. Though he has worth, he does not display it in his deeds, but observes the motive of his ministers. Though he is brave, he does not flaunt his bravery in show of indignation, but allow his subordinates to display their valor to the full. Thus, though he discards wisdom, his rule is enlightened. Though he discard worth, he achieves merit. And though he discards bravery, his state grows powerful. When the ministers stick to their posts, the 100 officials have their regular duties, and the ruler employs each according to his particular ability. This is known as the state of manifold constancy. Hence it is said, so still he seems to dwell nowhere at all, so empty no one can seek him out. The enlightened ruler reposes in non-action above, and below his ministers tremble with fear. This is the way of the enlightened ruler. He causes the wise to bring forth all their schemes, and he decides his affairs accordingly. Hence his own wisdom is never exhausted. He causes the worthy to display their talents, and he employs them accordingly. Hence his own worth never comes to an end. Where there are accomplishments, the ruler takes credit for their worth. Where there are errors, the ministers are held responsible for the blame. Hence the ruler's name never suffers. Thus, though the ruler is not worthy himself, he is the leader of the worthy. Though he is not wise himself, he is the corrector of the wise. The ministers have the labor, the ruler enjoys the success. This is called the maxim of a worthy ruler. The way lies in what cannot be seen, its function in what cannot be known. Be empty, still, and idle, and from your place of darkness observe the defects of others. See, but do not appear to see. Listen, but do not seem to listen. Know, but do not let it be known that you know. When you perceive the trend of a man's words, do not change them, do not correct them, but examine them and compare them with the results. Assign one man to each office and do not let men talk to each other, and then all will do their utmost. Hide your tracks, conceal your sources, so that your subordinates cannot trace the springs of your action. Discard wisdom for sheer ability, so that your subordinates cannot guess what you are about. Stick to your objectives and examine the results to see how they match. Take hold of the handles of government carefully and grip them tightly. Destroy all hope, smash all intentions of wresting them from you. Allow no man to covet them. If you do not guard the door, if you do not make fast the gate, then tigers will lurk there. If you are not cautious in your undertakings, if you do not hide their true aspect, then traitors will arise. They murder their sovereign and usurp his place, and all men in fear make common cause with them. Hence they are called tigers. They sit by the ruler's side and in the service of evil ministers, spy into his secrets. Hence they are called traitors. Smash their cliques, arrest their backers, shut the gate, deprive them of all hope of support, and the nation will be free of tigers. Be immeasurably great, be unfathomably deep, make certain that names and results tally, examine laws and customs, punish those who act willfully, and the state will be without traitors. The ruler of men stands in danger of being blocked in 5 ways. When the ministers shut out their ruler, this is one kind of block. When they get control of the wealth and resources of the state, this is a second kind of block. When they are free on to who handles the government, punishment and favors, issues order as they please, this is a third kind. When they are able to do righteous deeds in their own name, this is a fourth kind. When they are able to build up their own cliques, this is a fifth kind. If the ministers shut out the ruler, then he loses the effectiveness of his position. If they control wealth and resources, he loses the means of dispensing bounty to others. If they issue orders as they please, he loses the means of command. If they are able to carry out righteous deeds in their own name, he loses his claim to enlightenment. And if they can build up cliques of their own, he loses his supporters. All these are rights that should be exercised by a ruler alone. They should never pass into the hands of the ministers. The way of the ruler of men is to treasure stillness and reserve. Without handling affairs himself, he can recognize clumsiness or skill in others. Without laying plans of his own, he knows what will bring fortune or misfortune. Hence, he need speak no word, but good answers will be given to him. He need to exact no promise, but good works will increase. When proposals have been brought before him, he takes careful note of their content. When undertakings are well on their way, he takes careful note of the result. And from the degree to which proposals and results tally, rewards and punishments are born. Thus, the ruler assigns undertakings to his various ministers on the basis of the words they speak and assess their accomplishments according to the way they have carried out the undertaking. When accomplishments match the undertaking and the undertaking matches what was said about it, then he rewards the man. When these things do not match, he punishes the man. It is the way of the enlightened ruler never to allow his ministers to speak words that cannot be matched by results. The enlightened ruler in bestowing reward is as benign as the seasonable rain. The dew of his bounty profits all men, but in doling out punishment, he is as terrible as the thunder. Even the holy sages cannot assuage him. The enlightened ruler is never over liberal in his rewards, never over lenient in his punishments. If his rewards are too liberal, then the ministers who have won merit in the past will grow lax in their duties. And if the punishments are too lenient, then evil ministers will find it easy to do wrong. Thus, if a man has truly won merit, no matter how humble and far removed he may be, he must be rewarded. And if he has truly committed error, no matter how close and dear to the ruler he may be, he must be punished. If those who are humble and far removed can be sure of reward, and those close and dear to the ruler can be sure of punishment, then the former will not stint in their efforts, and latter will not grow proud.